I really want to thank everyone for being here. We're gathering a nice group of people. This is great. Um, the next gathering, this one that we're having tonight, it's going to be on January 20th, and we're here every Wednesday, unless otherwise announced if something should happen or we should be off somewhere or doing something, whatever. And there's no charge for these. And yes, Lynn is the best, Patty. You're right. Admin at markerless.com. That's Lynn's personal address, email address. And you can even visit her there in Canada when the snow melts. At admin at markerless.com. So, hey, Allison, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. All right. So again, the next gathering is on the 20th, and every Wednesday, and at 7 p.m. There's no charge. 7 p.m. my time, Boulder, Colorado time, Mountain Daylight time. And let's see here. The next healing circle, I believe, is on January 26th, and that's at 6:30 p.m. Boulder time, Mountain Daylight time. And there's no charge for that either. And for the gatherings, I'll answer questions, if anyone has anything they're curious about with spirituality or with healing, which is my forte. Hey, Marianne, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm really grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm curious, Marianne, what city do you live in? Are you in Florida? I believe so. With Patty? Do you know Patty? And so I'm trying to put it all together here, how I know some people. And Patty, is that your friend that lives in Florida there with you? Please let me know. Or unless Marianne wants to say. But regardless, going back to the healing circle, that's every other week. And that's when I work with everyone. And if you have a question, I'll try to answer that. I try to differentiate between the gathering and the healing circles. And the gathering is more for questions about spirituality and healing, which is my forte, and also working with moment meditation. Oh, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Okay, all right, great, great, great. Okay, I thought you lived in Florida with near Patty. And hey, Stephen, you rock, my friend. You rock, my dear friend. Good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And let's see, at the end of gathering, what I'll try to do if there's time is give the quickest meditation you ever had in your life. But you'll be able to take this with you and wonder about it, ponder it. And as you do, hopefully it'll help you to open up in a direction that's a little bit cleaner and clear. And that's what the last moment meditation is for. So also we have a workshop coming up, and there's a ton of people signed up for it already. So if you're interested, please do attend. It's the Art of Healing, and it's a little more advanced or different than what I've given before. Some of the stuff is the same as with everything, but we're working with a different time, a different understanding, and you'll be able to perceive of information that will pertain to the group consciousness of wherever they want to go during this workshop. It's a 4-day workshop. It's the only workshop that I have that I charge. And if you should need help financially in it, please talk to Lynn. She knows what to do. And take advantage of it. It pertains to healing. It's the art of healing. And I'll go deep into the world of healing, my world. It'll be your world, and you'll be able to find application not only for other people, but for yourself as well. And again, I do go very in depth, and I don't believe I leave a question or a statement unanswered or more elaborated on until everyone gets it. And if you don't get it, that means other people don't get it. So that's why I have to really, really do it. I know. I think you signed up already, Allison, which I'm thrilled to death that you're going to be there. There's a good chunk of people that are coming to it. So please, everyone, take advantage of it. If you do have the opportunity to, I'd really appreciate it, and you'll appreciate it as well. Let me see here. And that's available, the information of it is available on the website as well, or on the different Facebook pages. So, and also you'll be able to say if you're busy one day or 2 days of it or 3 days of it, you'll be able to see the replays of it on a special YouTube channel that Lynn will send you the link to, and you'll be able to see it as many times as you want to go over it, because there's going to be a lot of information that is more or less alchemical. And that means it works from within you. And so every time you listen to it, you'll get something different out of it. My teachers used to always equate to that kind of information as, if you read a good book, you'll see it differently the next time. And it'll still be good, but there'll be other information. So that's the way the workshops are, pretty much. And take advantage of it, please. And all classes and events are free and available for replay, except for the major workshops, which the Art of Healing one is. And you'll be able to see all of them at no charge and go over them again from the website. And let me see if there's anything else. Lynn did put up Initiate Your Intuition workshop on the website as well for those that attended and that want to review it as often as you want, as you wish. They are available. The workshop. The workshops are again 4 days, Monday to Thursday, Boulder time, 12 o'clock to 1:30, I believe. And so hopefully that's congenial with your schedules. And again, if you can't make it, it's okay. You'll be able to see a replay if you sign up for it. So Lynn's here, which I'm grateful for, and she'll be posting different things. And I'll work with you, Allison, with your tummy in a moment, but I wanted to see if there's any questions or comments about healing or spirituality that I can try to work with. I try to differentiate this, as I said, between the healing circle, where I work with everyone, and or as many as I can, unless it gets really packed, and this, where I can answer questions and talk about healing and intuition. Yeah, thanks for reminding me. The appointments are most awesome, I think. Sometimes, and I'm not a psychic, and I don't proclaim to be. There's one on every street corner, and I don't want to be one of those. I'd rather, let that divinity give me the guidance and direction within when I'm talking with a person. If I should, then in that guidance and direction, I'll be able to sometimes see things. And as I do, I'll equate it to your life situations, and I'll talk about it, and I'll express it in story form, or I'll express it in conversation. I won't come off as a psychic, well, we think, or the spirits are coming to me. I won't do that. And though I guess I could play that. That would be fun. And I don't charge $4.99 a minute, or there's probably more now, but many years ago it was $4.99 a minute. So in any case, with working with the appointments, I pretty much listen, and then we get in a chat, and I'll ask you questions, and some things come up, and I'm also able to work with healing for your body in the musculature, the neural dynamics of your body, aches and pains, chronic situations, disease states, or whatever. Sometimes I'm able to see things or causes, as I said, and I'll be able to help you. most likely, without any guarantees. I don't diagnose, I don't prescribe, and I don't tell anyone they're healed. I let people tell me what change has happened in their life, and that's all that really matters. So the appointments are awesome if you have an opportunity. And if you need help with the appointment, let me know. I might be able to help you. All right, let me see here. Also, thanks for putting that. It's not really a donate, it's a gifting from the heart, and it's a supporting from the heart on my website. And I can have it one time. You can put in one time, or you can put in ongoing. It's set up for. And it's for people that I work with personally that I give groceries to and or I'll give money to. And I'm not a 501c3. I just give. I just have to. And there's a lot of people that are hurting. And I do want to mention, like I mentioned in the Healing Circle last night, I read a report, a very recent report, that literally 1/3 of all children are not getting enough food. And I didn't say substantial food. I said enough food. And so I get to see them. And there's one particular gentleman that I work with, an older gentleman on the streets. And there's also several other people that have children that I work with as well, in giving them food and money as needed. So if you want to put something into the kitty, all the money I get in is going towards that, except for the workshop money that keeps me afloat. So, and if you have any financial needs, as far as anything else goes, talk to Lynn if you want to attend something that costs money, either the workshop, and if it's about an appointment, talk to me. And Lynn is admin at markehrlich.com. So, got all that stuff taken care of. And I do want to thank everyone who's been donating. I see it, and I appreciate it a whole lot. Or not donating, gifting and supporting. And that's what it's about. And if you have a question, please, feel free to ask it now, pertaining to healing and or spirituality or something. My friend Sue Cavas in Arizona, she asked me for tonight. She'll see this as a replay as well. For tonight, she wrote, "Can you talk about discernment with healing?" Yes, I would love to, matter of fact. I think that, well, first of all, discernment I'll talk about a lot because it pertains a lot to the healing. So I'll talk about that in the workshop, which I believe you're going to. And it will be in the Art of Healing workshop. I know that for a fact. I think that discernment is the most important, literally the most important aspect. And it's literally the beginning of your process of emptiness that's needed. Discernment is being empty, and it allows for something greater than you to do more than you. So we're allowing something when we're empty, because we don't have a prejudgment, we don't have a predetermined determination of what the result is going to be. We just know a potential perfection. And so it's through the discernment that we're able to allow that in that emptiness to fulfill. But it's more than what we perceive as a perfection. We're so limited because we're living in this three-dimensional orb with electromagnetic dynamics happening on different continents and everything else, with all these other people that have this mind. And so we're able to, if we discern, then we're being open to a greater mind for something to come forth, a greater spirituality. Which also brings up another point before I go on with that, is in this, we don't necessarily want to go after pure spirituality, because we'd be way off balance. We wouldn't fit here, and we wouldn't be able to function. We'd be limited. We'd be hurting ourselves in many, many ways. And we also don't want to necessarily be like the common person, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way or a destructive way or negative way. The common person to me is someone who's mostly infatuated with the world and lives in the world and doesn't want to go beyond that because that's their safety net. The world is the safety net for them. So we want to, I think the true spiritual person is the one who balances their life with spirituality and physicality. So going back to the question as far as the discernment goes, it allows for something greater than us to do more than what we can conjure. When we're empty, then we're trusting it. And how can we do anything of a greater spirituality or having it come forth unless we're allowing something greater in the mind that knows more, that cleans up what we want to do, and it takes it and it kneads it and molds it, it shreds it, it pulls it apart, it cleanses it, and it keeps on doing that and throws it back to us on the right continent, to the right people, to the right city, to the right situations, to the right environment, to everything to make it more perfect than what we conjured. So the idea of discernment is a separation from our common self and allowing a greater source to fulfill it, to make it even more than what we can even conjure. As we're allowing it to, as we learn to be that indifference. And indifference isn't cold, it's being open, in my perception. Then we get, even as we do, even in our lives, as we can apply it to meditation. Say if we're sitting and meditating, if we have an agenda, we can ask a question and without changing and changing and changing, because if we are changing, we're not going to get an answer. And because we're constantly changing and looking for something else, we're not allowing the original answer to come through. But if we're determined with a specific question or a statement, then if we're discerning, we're letting it go and letting something else come forth and being open to it. So discernment plays a really important part in our lives. Even in contemplation. Contemplation is the activity of meditation. Wondering is contemplation. You're wondering about something. You're being open because you don't have a predetermined answer yet. And you're not insisting on one thing of something that you want. So this is allowing something more. And discernment is everything, I think. And I'll talk a lot about that in a more sensical way during the workshop, the Art of Healing workshop coming up on the 18th. But we can get a greater idea and a simpler idea. The more discerning we are, the more observant we are, the more objective we are, the more open we are, without prejudgment, not only of others, but ourselves as well. And we can work with it with pertaining to others and ourselves. And the idea is to be open, where you're not making a prejudgment. And this enables us to see what's more correct for another person or situation that we're experiencing or going through, and which also relates to ourselves at the same time. So in pertaining to how we relate and what we have related in identifying with ourself as well, what I'm talking about basically is that we'll see, say if we're discerning and we're seeing a situation, and then as in somewhere in the back of our mind, in that space, an answer or a visual will come to us, or an audio will come to us, which is through the intuition from ourselves pertaining to the situation, it'll say if it's about another person or a situation that we're asking about or wondering about, then we'll get that information about it. It'll be a picture or words or something, and a visual, and it comes through our knowing. But what happens is that if it's pertaining to the situation or another person, it's also pertaining to ourselves. And we can relate to that visual because we're identifying it being a part of our life or our potential life. It will relate to us as well. That's what I'm trying to say. So I really hope that makes sense for people in some way, or part of it does. And if not, please go over this. And I don't know if I got this last week. Kathy, my friend Kathy, she wrote, "Hi Mark, can you speak some on the Mobius?" Or it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that I had the last gathering, and I don't remember if I had addressed this. Can you please speak on the Mobius? This is something that I teach in the Art of Healing, and it'll be a lot more detail in the workshop. But the Mobius to me represents the dance of life, the breath of God, and all the same to me. And I work with it in working with healing, and I'll wait until I perceive of that Mobius in a fluid form within a person. And when I know that it's consistent, then I know that the work is done. When I'm working with that Mobius as a tool, there's other ways of working with healing as well, and that's just one of the ways. All right. Let me see here. I'm going to get back to all the questions and comments or whatever. All right. All right. Tamara and Jason are going to come to Colorado from Arizona for a cup of coffee. I love it. I hope they drink coffee. Let's see here. Is there anything else? Someone I thought wrote questions. I'm trying to find them. Where are they? Yeah. Allison. First, are there any other questions before I work with healing? Because that's the main thing for this, the main purpose of this. Are there any questions? Allison, I had a sore tummy last weekend. I thought I was going to throw up. I started to send white light and love to my tummy. That's awesome. And when you're sending white light and love, that's great, but do it for intent. When something's, and this is what I do in my life, say if I'm very prone for food poisoning. So, and I've had it about 11 times in my life for sure. And it's very horrible for me in my experience. My body is, it's very difficult for my body to handle it. So and there's things that I do now that it doesn't come upon me so that it won't, and it doesn't. But what I do is say if I feel something beginning to happen in my abdominal cavity, my belly, and I'm beginning to feel nauseous, what I'll do is picture that nauseousness. There's something irritating in there, and I'll picture it as a big red ball of irritation. And so instead of just sending white light, light is not white. It's clear, it's luminescent, it's bubbly, it's effervescent, it's pure. And so I'll send it, I'll work with it, and I'll picture it right in the center of that red globule that's irritated, that's alive, or else I wouldn't be feeling it. or else I wouldn't be experiencing it. So I'll imagine, to image in action, a a point of yellow in there, a clear yellow, and I'll watch it. It's just like the old days in the Bonanza TV series from years and years ago. Uh, there was a map right before when the commercials come on, and right after the commercials, the beginning of the TV thing again. There would be this big old map of the United States, and right in the center of it was this little flame that came up and started burning on the outside. Well, that's how I picture that little yellow dot that I imagine there, to image in action. And I watch that expanding, and by the time it expands, my belly is better. And so that's what I do. Just something that anyone can apply. It takes a little focus, but it works, at least for me in my life. And I teach that a whole lot. And that's good that you were able to do that with the white light. Try it with the yellow and see how much quicker and how much more effect it has. Starting just a yellow light. Don't change colors or anything else. Just keep it yellow. Try it that way. And you can do it before your way or after your way or whatever. Or do it instead of your way. Whatever you choose on that. And let me see here. And that's awesome that you were able to do that, Allison. That's awesome. And I'll teach you so many different ways during this workshop as well, and give you different understandings and how I function with things. Patty, could you talk about nothing is new? It's just been recreated. Whoa, that's a big one, Patty. Nothing is new. In my perspective, it's a cleansing, it's a healing, it's a regeneration. We're eliminating a lot of the old, the guttural within ourselves, the archaic within ourselves. That's how I see that. Nothing is really new, but at the same time, everything for me, not all the time, but quite often, is exciting for me. So, and I find the excitement in the observation and the potential of things that I can apply. So nothing is really new in a sense. It's a repeat in many senses, and it's standing back and observing it versus the reaction. It's the reaction that we see as new, even though that's old. I try not to go with the reactions of things in my life, and that's what I choose. What is this? Okay, so that's my answer for that, Patty. Good question. Good question, though. All right, Diane. Hey, how you doing, my friend? Diane wrote, I seem to have a good intuition. Yes, you do, and healing ability with others. Yes, but I struggle with many health issues. I don't use the energy much for myself, but why does one have so many neurological issues? Well, neurological, biological, skeletal, chronic situations, everyone. I'm yet to meet someone who doesn't have something. And show me a perfect person, and I'll follow them anywhere. But, also show me a perfect person, and I'll be able to find maybe 5 to 10 or 15 things with them that they weren't aware of, because those were initiated at a younger time, or they're developing now in their bodies. And those things from an earlier time, it takes time. It's like a bruise. Someone gives you a knuckle sandwich, and then you say, ow. Well, years later, we start, for the bruises that happen to us at a younger time, then years later, we start developing into where our weak points are, where we've had shock traumas in our life, whether physiological, biological, neurological, or whatever, they develop in life. And those are the things that we end up with in life. And those are the very things that I work with as well, say in the appointments, or I help you to find out, even in the workshops, that you can take a look at yourself and see where your bruises are if you want to work on those types of dynamics in your life. So, again, the question is, I seem to have good intuition and healing ability, which is awesome, and I trust that, but I struggle with many health issues. The health issues are going to be there. I don't know of anyone that is perfect, that has worked their life out, but we can take these things and make them easier in our life, where they're not so bothersome, or they can be what I refer to as arrested, where they won't develop anymore. That quite often happens. Or they're dissipated, where they don't bother you anymore in life. I've seen it with people with cancer, where the cancer was arrested and there were no more symptoms, even though they had the cancer in blood tests, and doctors were blown away that they weren't dead. So, I've seen that often. So we can do these things, and we can have an easier life, I believe. But you also write, I don't use the energy much for myself. Why not? It's there for that. It's there for you, and it's there for others. You don't have to publicly work with people if you don't want to, but it's there for you. That's why it's there. It's a gift. So use it for yourself. Enjoy it. Learn how to use it for yourself. That's the important part. Or else there's an imbalance, and there'll be haphazards happening inside your body if you don't use it for yourself. The old way that people taught from the middle 1800s up was, you got to be selfless, and you can't use it for yourself. God's not going to allow it. Then He's going to take it away. Give me a break. Not true. Not true at all. You got to balance the spirituality with the commonality. The commonality being of this world. And nothing wrong with it, but we also have a spirituality within us that we're learning to utilize and come into acquaintance with. So please, if you do have time, learn to work with yourself, or go to one of my workshops and I'll teach you. And just do it. Do it, do it, do it. Hey, April. Good to see you, April Star. Nini. So I won't forget that for some reason. All right. Christy, will you be doing any seminars on weekends or nights? Not until I travel again. Good question, Christy. Not until I travel. And I'll be starting off in who knows when, September, June, July, August, September, in either Arizona. I think Arizona first, and then probably I'll be going to California, and then other parts of the country as well. Hopefully North Carolina. I don't know, Virginia or something like that. And but the week workshops now are for people that can get online, like this one coming up on the Art of Healing. It's a 4-day, an hour and a half a day. It'll be on Zoom, and it'll be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 12 until 1:30 in the afternoon. If you can't see one or two of them, then you'll have the replay either by that night, Lynn will put it up, or the next day, the next morning. She's always been good at that. And unless her electricity goes out in Canada, she has this hand crank for the electricity. And so if it works, everyone gets to see it. So I love teasing Lynn. And if it's not a snowstorm. So I will be doing, when I'm finally traveling out of town, then I will be doing seminars on the weekends or nights, or apprentice trainings. So let me see here. Yeah, Christy, you remember the map of the Bonanza thing? That's awesome. Uh, Christy was taught to visualize the body in God's perfection for healing. I think that's great. My pleasure, Diana. My pleasure. Um, yeah, there's Lynn just put up again the information on the Art of Healing workshop if anyone's interested. And again, if you need help with it financially, let Lynn know. Definitely let Lynn know. But back to Christy here, was taught to visualize the body in God's perfection. Yes. And what I do is I work with the body as a whole or the part, because I know that the parts are a part of the whole. And if I work with a part, then it's affecting other parts around as well. So, all right. No other questions or comments about healing that you'd like me to talk about or answer? I'd be more than happy to. Please feel free. And before we get into anything else, please do also go to the website and for the gifting and for the supporting. And it goes for a great, great purpose of feeding people or giving people money as needed. So, all right, is there anyone here who would like me to work with them a little bit? These are what I call Quickie Healings. And please, is there anyone here that would like me to work with one thing, only one thing? If both your arms hurt, tell me which one hurts the most. And or if your head hurts, tell me which of the heads hurt the most, the left side or the right side. Hey Heidi, how are you, my dear? Good to see you here. And I'm so glad you're here. You were able to show up. Thank you so much. Please tell me one thing you would like me to work with anyone, and I'd be more than happy. Just name one thing, whether it be your foot, your eyeball, or whatever. Heidi, I had cataract surgery, right eye is worse after. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. All right, let me work with Heidi here in the cataract. In the right eye. And you may, when I work with you, you may experience something. You may feel something. You don't have to. The people that do need to, the people that don't need to. It doesn't mean that nothing's happening. Please understand that. All right. Let's work with Heidi a moment here. And please, when I work with anyone here, it's most important to be really still and let me work with it. Okay, my perception, Heidi, is that 2 days. Let's see what happens within the 2 days. And my pleasure. My pleasure. Christy, woke up with a sore throat and feeling fatigued. Oh, all right. I'm going to work with you, Christy, here for a moment. Well, first of all, I want to work with your throat. And Christy, also, it's important. I don't know if you're doing it or not, but I think it's really important that you drink more water as well, and that will help the healing process in you. It'll kind of neutralize some of the toxicity, and it'll cleanse, and uh, it will neutralize. It'll help you a lot. All right, Chrissy, can you tell me if you notice a difference in there? Be candid, please. Please be candid. If you can tell me if you notice a difference in your throat, please be candid. My pleasure, Heidi. And let's see. All right, Tamara. Tamara. Tamara, like tomato sauce? Tamara. All right, let me work with you with the oxygen. And also, tomorrow, I'll be working with the prayers tonight as well. Now, at times, you're going to be experiencing an expanded breath. And I don't know if you've started to already, but and just breathe calmly and let it happen naturally tomorrow. Uh, that's what I have for right now for that. Diana, back of head. And Diana, you may experience sensation as well, hon. Also, on both sides of your spine and the back of the head, on the very top, it's tender in there. I know that. So I'm going to work with that as well, which is creating some of the tension of the muscles. And tomorrow, I'll give my love to Jason. And let me see here. With Diana, let me know how you're doing, hon. Let me know. It limits your viewing online now. I understand. I understand. So, um, yes, thank you. All right, good. And Lisa, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you here. Thanks for being here, Lisa. So, let me work with your lungs a little bit. Um, all right, all right, good. Yes, the green is the color that I was projecting in there for you, Diana. Um, and that's what your body needed. So that's good. That's good. And Lisa, tell me about your lungs. If you're able to take a deep breath, or they don't hurt, or whatever, please let me know. Please let me know. Any other final people? Tell me, Diana, what happened? And anyone else I can try to work with here? I don't mean try, even though I say that often. Even if a person doesn't experience something right now, it's okay. It doesn't matter, because there's more to the picture, more to the story than what we perceive as happening. And so some people are going to get affected either immediately, most people will, or some people get affected 5 minutes later, or 20 minutes later, or walking down the street 2 weeks or 2 months later. They'll say, oh my God, when did this leave me? It's not up to us to make a determination or a judgment of what we think is going to happen. Then we're not allowing God to be God. We're playing God. So, and I always try to keep that in mind and remind people of that. And of course, this is what I teach in the workshops, and the one coming up in the Art of Healing. Diana, please, how is your neck there that you said wow to? Tell me. I need to know. Anyone else have anything they'd like to share? Please. All right. If not, we'll get into that really super, super quick meditation that I promised, and which I like to do most of the time on. I feel like you put a green cylinder of energy in my brain. And upper spine. I feel better, but still have a little pain. Wherever you have the pain, don't rub it, but push inwards the most. And hold it there, not where you're hurting yourself, but just hold it there and wait until you feel a flow of blood, of life force flowing through. And then wait for a moment and take your finger off. Try that. And you might have to do that one or two or several times in order to realize, or have it realize, that it's better. So it's just something that I got for you. And anyone can do that if they have a specific area. It's just pushing it, not to hurt yourself or to bruise yourself, and just holding it, and without letting up, not rubbing it, just holding it there. And then wait until you feel it'll be real subtle, or it'll be real dramatic. It'll be like a flow, either through your hand or through where you're holding it. And then wait for a moment or two, then let up. And you'll see that it's different. And the discomfort is saying, let's get out of here, the light's coming. So, and it will kind of run away. But if you do it again, you'll see it's not as much. So, something to utilize as a tool, a vehicle for healing to work through. And there's literally thousands of ways to work with healing. Cool. All right, let's real briefly do a very quick meditation. And if you're alone, even if you aren't, just pretend you're going to doze or something and close your eyes. And this is kind of neat as pertains to healing too. Imagine, that means to image in action. It's not pretend and it's not fantasy. Imagination it's using, to image in action. Imagine that there's a bucket above you filled with yellow liquid light, and it's starting to slowly pour, and keep it slow, pour through the top of your head, and watch it flow down. A yellow light, whatever yellow is for you, in whatever it looks like, because everyone has a different perception of color. So have the yellow light pour through the top of your head, the crown, and let it permeate into the muscles, into the bone, in skull plates, the neck, shoulder, down your throat, into the blood, into the cells. Let it just saturate you all the way down. And eventually, it's going to reach the bottom of your feet, and let it pour out of the bottom of your feet. And when it's all gone, open up your eyes. Don't do it too long of a time. Let it flow naturally through you. Let it flow naturally. Let it finish up. This is more of an exercise than a meditation, but I wanted to give it. All right, everyone. All right. And you can do this as often as you want during the day. You can have fun with it. You can do it in work, or you can do it at home, or in the middle of the day when things are chaotic, whatever. Use a yellow light. And yellow is going to be really difficult for some people, but if you can get this down for the ones that it's difficult for, you'll notice a change in your body and the way that you feel and the way that you perceive, looking through your eyes out into the world. So that's what this exercise is for. Well, I want to thank everyone for being here. And it is cool. It's awesome. It's awesome. And you're a blessing, and be blessed even more. God bless you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to post this video almost right away, so you can rewatch this if you want, and have the announcements. Hey, Penny, how you doing? I didn't even know you were here. Hey, good to see you, my dear friend. Good to see you. And I pray all is well. And blessings to everyone. And thank you so much for being here. And again, please go to the website and look at the workshop. And oh, that's great, Lisa. I'm very, very happy. Good. And do the yellow too. Do that yellow. Thank you. And thank you, Tamara. Blessings to everyone here. And go to the website if you want an appointment. Let me know if whatever, want to do the workshop. God bless you. Thank you so much.